this is your ouch pouch tutorial, and first of all we're going to go through a little bit of housekeeping. So you are going to have two pieces like this in the kind of bow tie shape. You are going to have two pieces like that, and they're going to create your side bits, and then you've got two smaller pieces like that, and they're going to create your tabs. So we'll start with those pieces and we'll do the folding on them first. So that's going to be your side pocket. You're going to take it and you're going to fold it long side over like that, and then take it to the board, give it a good press. Once you pressed it that way, flip it back the right sides together, and you're going to take it to the machine and just sew up the two sides and then turn it back right side out. So you're going to do that for both of those. Next step are these pieces here. So these are going to be your little tabs, so you can got something to hold on to when you're opening and closing the zip. So you are going to take your square piece, you are going to fold it in half and just kind of finger press it in the middle. Then you're going to take each piece to the center, get that pressed again, and then press the whole thing in half, and that's going to create your two tabs. So once you've also pressed them, the next bit of housekeeping before we can start is on one of the sides, either some interfacing if you want to keep it nice and thin, or you can put a piece of batting on it. You just need to secure that to all the edges, so it can either be fusible and you can iron it on, or as I've done with this, I've just stitched all the way around all of the edges on this one just to hold that in place. And then with the ouch pouch, what makes it an ouch pouch is you can turn it into a first aid kit. So we've given you a little piece there that you can applique onto your pouch to obviously symbolise that it's a first aid kit. So it's up to you whether you want to add that piece. I'm going to leave mine off for this demonstration. So once you've done all those, the next step is taking this piece and the zip. Now you've got a 14-inch zip in there, and what I need you to do is just mark the centre. So with the zip closed, just bend it so it's in half. Don't actually fully bend the zip, just kind of fold the tape part so it's in half, and then just mark where that halfway point is, and make sure you've got both sides of the zip marked. Do the same with your fabric piece. Just fold that in half, give it a little finger press, and then mark that point with a heat erasable marker, and do the same on the other end there. So we've got all of those points marked, and we're ready to start putting this together. So this is going to be our inside, and with our inside, what we want to do is we want to actually, we'll make that the outside because that's got the batting on. So we'll make this piece our inside. I need to just remark those middle points again, just to make sure that I'm not going to get mixed up. So that's that one there. And then same again on this side. That's it there. Okay, so we've got our centre points marked. So from there, we're going to take the centre point of the panel and the centre point of the zip. Now you want your zip face up, that bit face up, and match up those two centre points, and you're going to take the edge of the tape to the edge of the fabric, and that's how we're going to line it up all the way around. So we're going to need quite skinny little pins for this, and then as many or as few pins as you are happy with. You can even use quilting clips for this if you want to. When you get to those corners, it's definitely worth putting a little snip in there, just, you see that, just to help it open up and move around those corners. So you want to get all of that pinned in place. Once it's there, and that's all the way around to here and all the way around to there, we're going to do the same to the other side. So that's now all the way around. The next step is to do the other side. So we're going to repeat exactly the same process. I'm going to take this and we're going to pin it face to face onto this other end. So I'm going to take that along there and we're going to mark the center points and we're going to start from there and then work our way out again. Oops. Once you've pinned both sides, then you're going to take this to the machine and just put a basting stitch quite close to this edge, say about the middle of the tape, all the way around to hold both of these sides in. I'll get that done and I'll pop back to show you the next step. That's all been sewn in now and all the pins are out, so you can see that's the start of it coming together. And at this point you can just always check that zip lines up, and that's lining up really well, so we're happy with that. If it wasn't lining up nicely at that point, obviously you can see your marks are lining up nicely in the centre there, then it's worth unpicking it and redoing it to make sure it goes in nicely. But that looks good, so we are good to go. So the next bit we're going to do is add the other panel. So before I just do that, I am going to come back to those bits that I did, the other bits I did mention. Those I've just stitched the sides like I said it was going to, and these have been over to the iron and they've had a press. We're going to use those a little bit later, but just to show you, it is worth prepping those at the beginning because it'll make it, when the pouch starts to come together, it'll come together a lot more quickly. So those centre points were marked on these two pieces as well, top and bottom. So I'm going to do exactly the same as I did before, line those marks up, and just grab some pins. And then once they're lined up, I'm going to do the same again, work to the left, work to the right, do one side, get it all pinned, stitch it in, come back, pin the other side in place, and that works exactly the same. Just mark those centre points and line those up first, get that in place, and then stitch that in. And then once I've stitched both of those sides onto the zip as well, we'll come back and we'll start the final piece of assembly. We're ready for the next step now. Round the zips is top stitch, and you can see now that when I zip that up, it's sitting much better. There's no kind of baggy, gapey bits there. So I'm going to open that back up, and you can see I've got marked with pins on either side here, just the centre points between those two corners. And I'm going to, this would be the outside of the bag. I'm going to flip it over, so I'm working on the outside. And those two little tabs that I showed you how to fold right in the beginning, I'm just going to place those at the points where we've got those two centre bits. And these tabs are just going to be really helpful when you're zipping and unzipping your pouch. So I'm going to take these to the machine, quickly tack those in place, and when I do that, I'm actually going to just secure all three of these layers, so the lining, the batting and the outer layer all together just by running a quick line of tacking stitches around there and also around this open piece here. So I'll go ahead, I'll quickly run the machine, do that, and then we'll get the final parts in. Unfortunately, the light beat me yesterday, so I couldn't get the video finished, so I'm picking up the rest of it today. So I'm just coming to the point where I'm stitching along both of these sides to kind of sandwich them together and to form that initial part of the box. Now I wanted to stop here because when you stitch along these, you can see you've obviously got the zip to take into account as well. Once you get to that bulky part where the zip is, there is nothing wrong with just hand turning your machine to make sure you can get through all of those layers without actually damaging your machine or hitting any pins or hitting the metal pieces of the zip. And then once you're past the tough part, maybe one more turn, then you can whip those pins out and just stitch all the way along. You can see I'm not doing 1/4 of an inch here because I actually want to cover these, and there's another part still to add. So I'm just coming kind of as close to the edge as I can, but still catching all of those layers. And this is just going to hold my, it's going to create that final box shape. So back to the machine, I've stitched the top and the bottom along here. Now one thing I will tell you to watch out for is most zips, including this one, have a locking mechanism on them. So when that is pushed flat like that, the zip's actually locked, so it won't pull open and kind of open the pouch. So what you need to make sure you do is when you do that bottom one, just make sure that zip puller is facing in towards the pouch, because the thing you don't want to do, and I have done this before, is leave it down here, which will stick down out at the bottom of here, and then when you come to sew it, obviously you can hit it with your needle. So just be aware of the zip puller on this end when you do it. So you can see now, if I quickly just flip this right side out, you can see that pouch now starting to take its shape. And the last thing that we need to do is put some of these spanning pieces in here, because they're going to help to stop everything falling out when we open it up. And then after that, we need to get rid of these raw edges here as well. So first of all, we're going to deal with the bits falling out. So we're going to pop that wrong way out again. And on top of there, you want to put your little spanning pieces that you did, and then stitch all the way along. And you want to do, again, kind of a 1/4 inch. You can maybe go a little tiny bit more on that if you want to. You're looking just to hold everything in place. You just don't want your stitches so far that they're not going to be covered by the bias binding, which we're going to add in a second. So you can do that to both sides, there and there. And I would definitely recommend, because this is, you can see, quite springy, stitching these in place first rather than trying to add these and the bias binding at the same time. So I will go ahead and stitch these on. So we're almost there. We've got 2 more jobs just to finish this off. Now the first is to hide these raw edges, and we're going to do that with bias binding. So you've got some of this in your kit. It's the same bias binding that goes around the Mobius tote bag, and it matches the zip quite nicely as well. So it's a nice coordinated piece of bias binding there. So what you're going to need to do is, first of all, fold it in half, because when it comes to you, it'll be flat like that. You're going to fold it in half, and then when you get to these corners, what you're going to do is you're going to fold it that way first. So fold it along that edge, and then you're going to fold it either side. But what you want to do is wrap this edge around and then fold it over, because then you're going to completely encompass all those raw edges within that as you stitch. Now this end is getting quite chunky now, so definitely recommend hand stitching that, or at least putting a couple of tacking stitches to hold it in place when you sew. So just both of those ends need to be done with your tape. And then the last step is just to hand stitch this, I'll just get that lined up, this onto there. So you're going to just do a ladder stitch and stitch these 2 pieces together, because when you, if I turn this right side out so you can see, at the minute, if I turn this right side out and I've got my things in it, you can see this actually flops forward. So by stitching those to that inside lining, and you've got sort of line to follow, you've got the kind of printed line up there to follow to see exactly where you should be stitching it. That's going to help it to stay in place, and when you have your items in there, then they're not going to fall out, and you don't need to worry, because when you close it up, that'll just fall forward, and then you'll be able to zip it up. So I'll go ahead and finish it, and I'll put some pictures on the end of the video.